was a weird video to shoot on my main channel. Hi, it's Noah Lavadine, and today I'm starting a new series when I talk about certain title runs or certain released superstars or certain superstars at all that should have been booked well or differently. So today we're going to talk about someone very important, Gail Kim. Now obviously she's had great success outside of WWE. We saw what she did in TNA. That does not excuse the way that she was treated in WWE at all. Let me break it down. When Gail Kim first started, she had about a year in WWE, and then she had to leave due to budget cuts. If you guys want to know more about Gail Kim's 2 runs in WWE, I suggest you go watch The Rise and Fall of Gail Kim by Ring Royalty on his channel. But I'm gonna go down what happened during her first run in this video, and then I'll talk about her second run in a different video. But for now, let's talk about how she first started in WWE. Gail Kim debuted on Raw June 30th, 2003, and she was booked in a Battle Royal for the Women's Championship. Now in this match, Jazz was actually injured all over her body, so she was taken out during the middle of the match, so there was going to be a new women's champion regardless. Gail Kim won the match by eliminating Victoria with a beautiful hurricanrana, may I add. But she only held that title for about a month or so, and she was booked in a feud against Trish Stratus and Lita until she got injured in November. She came back and had a few matches. She had a pay-per-view match at Bad Blood, but she didn't win. By the end of 2004, she got released. So in this video, while doing my makeup, I will be talking about how I, if I was head of creative, would have booked Gail Kim's first WWE one. Now, in this first one, I will have her be released because I am not portraying Vince McMahon. I'm only going to do a creative writer. And you know, Vince McMahon, he releases whoever he wants, whenever he wants. So this very same night, 2003, I would have had her debut in the Battle Royal. Jazz is still injured, so yes, we need a new champion. But what I would have done, I would have given Gail Kim the most eliminations so she can look strong. And then I would have her and Victoria as the final 2, just like in the original match. But whenever Gail Kim goes for that hurricanrana that she was doing, I would have had Victoria powerbomb her outside of the ring, making her the new women's champion. And then I would set up a feud between the two for the women's championship. So the next week I would have Gail Kim make her singles debut against Trish Stratus, but she would end up winning by disqualification since Victoria attacked her during the match. The week afterwards, Trish Stratus would have a match against Molly Holly, and she would win, but she gets attacked by Molly and Victoria. That's when Gail Kim comes out and saves the day. Of course, next week I would have a tag match between the two. But in this match, Gail Kim is going to have Molly Holly in her submission move to Christo. But Victoria comes up behind her and smacks her with the Women's Championship, winning by disqualification. Well, Gail would win by disqualification, not Victoria. And while that's going on, Trish Stratus comes back in and helps Gail fight off Victoria and Molly Holly. Then out of nowhere, here comes Ivory to attack Trish and Gail. So it's Ivory, Molly, Victoria attacking Trish and Gail Kim. We will have Trish and Gail fight off against the 3. It can be handicap, backstage brawls, one-on-ones, but it ends in sabotage, stuff like that. This all leads to Gail Kim challenging Ivory, Molly, Victoria to a 6-woman tag team match. But it's only her and Trish at the moment. So who's going to be their mystery partner? At SummerSlam, they revealed their partner to be Lita, returning from injury. So kind of like what they did at Unforgiven, Trish and Lita, but this time with Gail Kim in a 6-woman tag match, and it will be at SummerSlam. Gail Kim ultimately ends up winning the match by having Victoria, the women's champion at the time, tap out. The night after SummerSlam, Victoria is going to cut a promo on Gail Kim, calling her out because she's mad that she lost the match or whatever. This leads to a fight between the two, but she hasn't had enough of Victoria because, like I said, she and her have been beefing for a month or so. So she goes to Eric Bischoff and tells him that she wants a match against her for her title. During this time, Eric Bischoff was the manager of Raw, and we saw the things he did, especially to the women. So being the jerk that he is, He tells her, yes, you can have a match against Victoria, but you have to prove yourself to me first. So a week after this request to Eric Bischoff, Gail Kim is in a triple threat match against her newly found friends Trish and Lita. They both say, you know, girl, we are always here for you, but you know, we still want that title. It's a friendly competition, but at the same time, they want that women's championship, so they're going to give it all they got. However, Gail Kim is attacked mid-match by Victoria and stays out of it most of the time, leaving Trish and Lita to be in the ring for most of the match. But at the end, Gail Kim comes in whenever Lita hits the moonsault on Trish, but she comes in and rolls up Lita for a pin. Now she thinks that she has, like, you know, the number one contender spot because she thought she proved herself enough. But Eric Bischoff tells her, oh, you're not done. You still need to prove yourself to me. Because, you know, that's just who he is. That's something he would do. So next week, she's one-on-one with Ivory, someone that she's had problems with, and she easily takes her out by making her tap out to her finishing move. But Eric Bischoff comes out again and tells her she still wasn't done, and that she has one more person she has to face, and that would be Molly Holly. While Molly Holly comes out, making her entrance, Victoria comes up from behind, from in the crowd, and hits Gail Kim with a super kick, followed by her Widowmaker. That's when she puts you on her shoulders and does that little twisty move and then slams you. And you know, obviously Gail Kim's laid out because she just got taken out by Victoria, but Gail Kim kicks out at 2. Victoria's going to be outside the whole time in this match, trying to see if she can ease her way in to sabotage her. But when she tries to do that, Trish and Lita come out and help Gail Kim because, like I said, they're her friend. And Gail Kim eventually ends up winning the match by submission. So she finally gets her title match at Unforgiven. At the pay-per-view, I would have given them at least 15 minutes because they deserve it. Gail Kim would like accidentally hit the ref, maybe with like a drop kick. Like, let's say she's going for a drop kick, but Victoria pulls the referee in and she kicks him instead. Something like that. So while the referee's knocked down after Gail Kim's mishap, Victoria goes outside and grabs the title and smacks Gail Kim right across the face, and then hits the Widow's Peak, and when the referee finally gets up, she picks up the win. The next night, Victoria's boasting about her win, even though it was cheap, saying, you know, no one cares about her, she's a newbie, she needs to get on with herself. Gail Kim comes out and beats the crap out of Victoria. Security guards come out and pull her apart, and that's when Eric Bischoff announces that he is suspending Gail Kim until further notice. So 2 weeks after her suspension, Gail Kim is watching Victoria front row against her match with Trish Stratus. After Victoria beats Trish, Victoria approaches Gail Kim and slaps her in the face. Gail Kim gets really upset and throws a drink in her face, which leads to security escorting her out once again. So Gail Kim sends a video from home because she's suspended, basically on house arrest, and she says she does have issues with Victoria, but since Survivor Series has come up, she's gonna help lead the Women of Raw beat the SmackDown team. I would have set up a Survivor Series women's elimination match since we didn't get that many back then for whatever reason. I mean, yeah, we didn't have that many women, but they could at least tried. So the next week, Victoria cuts another promo in response to what Gail Kim was saying. But as she was doing this, she gets attacked by Jackie Gata. Then Molly Holly comes out to help her because Jackie Gata's from SmackDown and she's invading Raw territory. And then Lita comes out to attack Molly. Trish and Lita come out with Dawn Marie, Sable, and Tori Wilson to help fend off Raw and SmackDown. You know, that big old fight thing. And this is when Gail Kim returns and lays waste to everybody from SmackDown and stands tall with the Raw women. At Survivor Series, they are all backstage having a discussion. Gail Kim makes it clear to Victoria that she's coming after her title after this match is over with. Within the match, while Gail Kim is in the ring, Victoria grabs her title again and smacks Gail Kim across the back, eliminating herself from the match. The rest of Gail's team is eliminated, but after 7 minutes, she gets a clean sweep, and she is the sole survivor of Survivor Series in regards to women's match. And this is just to make her look stronger for the women's championship. So within the weeks, Victoria and Gail fight, say words, cut promos and whatnot. Eric Bischoff, he decided that this match at Armageddon would be a ladder match between the two. Yes, I would have put them in a ladder match because they would have looked amazing. So, at the pay-per-view, they would have gotten 20 minutes and the main event on top of that. At the end of the match, Gail Kim would put Victoria through a table after power bombing her off a ladder. Become the women's champion. You know, yeah. I would give them a rematch a week later at Tribute to the Troops, even though it's a SmackDown pay-per-view, but I feel like that should be a dual brand thing. It's Tribute to the Troops, you know. I'm assuming they want to see all the superstars. She would defend her championship within the weeks here and there against Trish Stratus, Lita, Tori, Stacey. And then Eric Bischoff would come out again to announce a 10-woman Royal Rumble, because, you know, we didn't have one yet. And there wasn't enough women to have like a 30-woman Royal Rumble. So I would give them a 10-woman Royal Rumble to make it more easier. And whoever won this match would have a women's championship match at WrestleMania. So this match would have Trish Stratus, Lita, Victoria, Tori Wilson, Stacey Keibler, Nidia, Jackie Yeda, Shaniqua, Molly Holly, and a returning Jazz. Because, you know, she was out with an injury. And then the Royal Rumble match at the pay-per-view, I would set up an altercation between Molly Holly and Victoria so that they can have their hair versus hair match at WrestleMania. So we can be on the right side of history. Throughout the weeks, I would have Jazz make segments to build up a feud with Gail Kim to, you know, make it have a more story. The whole story behind this is Jazz never lost her championship because she was taken out of the match. So technically, she was never beaten, and technically, she was still the women's champion because she was never beaten. So at WrestleMania, I would book about a 10-minute match with Gail Kim coming out on top because, you know, Vince McMahon doesn't like it when the women take up too much time at WrestleMania. Or at least during this time he didn't. I don't know how he really feels about that now. WrestleMania, this is where Trish tries to turn tail against Chris Jericho. So this will fall all right into the place as we're building up to Bad Blood. But before Bad Blood, we had a pay-per-view called Backlash. And Jazz would get her rematch there, but she would lose to disqualification after Gail Kim kept kicking out. At Bad Blood, it would be that fateful rematch with Victoria, Gail Kim, Trish Stratus, and Lita. Trish would win the match by pinning Lita, but Gail Kim would lose because Jazz came out to interfere and, you know, beat her up or whatever. Fun fact, Jazz was supposed to get a story behind her losing her title after she got injured, but according to her, that story never happened. Shame on you, WWE. Shame on you. So this feud is just like accumulating, right? But it would lead to like a conclusion at SummerSlam with a 2 out of 3 falls match. Gail gets the first fall, Jazz gets the second fall, but they both get a second fall when they end up outside the ring getting a double disqualification. So they get a sudden death. Jazz eventually picks up the win whenever Gail hits a exposed turnbuckle. Now in this match, Gail Kim gets injured and she's written off TV for a while. At Chapter Tuesday, there'll be that battle royal. Gail Kim will make her return, making sure to eliminate Jazz, but ultimately Trish Stratus retains her championship. Sadly though, during this time, WWE was ushering a new wave of women and they were making those budget cuts. So Gail Kim would be released even though she had this massive storyline along with Jazz. After her tenure in TNA, a great run against, you know, the likes of Awesome Kong, Gail Kim would come back a few years later. Definitely wasn't for the best, but I'll talk about that in my next video. So this is how I would have booked Gail Kim's first run in WWE. She definitely would have been a champion, but I would have made her reign and her time being there mean more. Yes, I know that I had her get released in my fantasy booking, but like I said, Vince McMahon, he controls everything, so, and he will release whoever he wants whenever he wants, no matter what storyline or what they did and we've seen that happen multiple times, especially within the past year. So I hope you guys enjoy. I will try to upload that next video sometime soon. I don't know when, but yeah.